Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is March 20th. Happy first day of astronomical spring. If we take a look here at the infrared satellite imagery, you can see we've got this weak system over the Pacific Northwest. There's BC, Washington, Oregon. Got some energy out here across the Pacific Ocean that's going to move into California here and leave the Pacific Northwest alone. So we may get a nice day Tuesday, Wednesday before this system across western Alaska and the Aleutian Islands moves across the Gulf of Alaska and into the Pacific Northwest. We'll take a look at the timing and what that system could possibly bring. We'll look at the extended forecast as always here coming up in a few moments as well. This is looking at what astronomical winter versus meteorological winter is in spring, summer, fall. You can see it does differ by a little bit. We start meteorological winter on March 1st. Astronomical spring is starting today, March 20th, for example. So it's just an easy way to remember and organize what actually is spring, summer, fall, winter here. And it just kind of makes things easy for meteorologists to remember it in this fashion versus March 20th, June 21st, September 22nd, December 21st, for example. So yeah, anyway, nice graphic here that Noah's been sharing there online. This is Seattle. Did get to 60 degrees yesterday, 5 degrees above average, brought some precipitation in towards the evening hours, and we're probably going to be a little bit below normal today, but we may warm back up towards normal even a little bit more tomorrow. And on Wednesday, we could be up towards 60 degrees, so might get a nice couple days here before we turn cooler here as we go towards the end of the week. More on that here in a moment. Now looking at 500 millibar temperatures, BC, Washington, Oregon. I want to show you what's coming on Thursday as we get a fairly nice day Wednesday across Pacific Northwest. This tongue of cold air is going to move into the Pacific Northwest here. Thunderstorm potential with this is this cooler system. Cold air aloft is going to bring some mountain snows, some rain, and some breezy conditions here, some unsettled conditions as we go on in through Thursday into Friday coming up. This is looking at last night's European run. This would be about current here as we go through the day today. You can see this on the weekend. That strong storm moves into California here, leaving us kind of high and dry for most of Tuesday, Wednesday, before our next system arrives here on Thursday with some very cold air aloft here, bringing the mountain snows, valley rains, and the potential for a thunderstorm or two across the area. This is looking at 100-meter wind speed, and our system is now weakening as we go through tomorrow and Wednesday here, that strong storm down into California. But if you look closely, we kind of get a little bit of an offshore flow here across some of the Pacific Northwest, at least west of the Cascades. That means a little bit of warming and heating there. So Wednesday might turn out to be quite a nice day here before we really cool down as we go on into Thursday and Friday coming up. Now looking at this would be the infrared satellite imagery. And this is on in through this morning now. And you can see that system over us right now. Not a very strong one by any means. And we start to dry out on the day Tuesday as that strong storm moves into California. And then we stay dry Wednesday. And then you can see the cool, showery air mass slam into the Pacific Northwest as we go on in through Thursday into Friday, shown there. Now, more on that here. You can see convective available potential energy here. This is instability in the atmosphere. This is the Gulf of Alaska. There's Alaska, BC, Washington, Oregon. There goes that system into California. And then our next system starts to race across the Gulf of Alaska into the Pacific Northwest. Could bring a thunderstorm to BC, Washington, Oregon coming up here. That's something we'll be watching over the next couple of days as you can see that instability with that cold air aloft move into the Pacific Northwest. This here is looking at 2-meter temperature. So today, probably a little bit below average for Seattle here and not warming up too much with those clouds around. But as we go through tomorrow, you can see things get a bit warmer here across the region. Look at that, some upper 50s showing up, some 60s for the Willamette Valley, maybe up towards 60 for the lower elevations, eastern Washington, Oregon. But you can see across the higher terrain, still fairly chilly. But now going into Wednesday, and we warm up even more here. Look at that. You get up towards 60 towards southwest BC, Vancouver, down through the Willamette Valley, eastern Washington, maybe get some 60-degree readings as well. But then that system's going to roll in here and really chop down our temperatures here, especially west of the Cascades on the day Thursday. So enjoy Tuesday and Wednesday while you can, folks, as we're going to cool down by the end of this week. This is Portland. There's Tuesday and Wednesday. You can clearly see them before the cool down occurs with that next system. This is Seattle. This would be Tuesday here, not quite as warm as Portland, but then Wednesday warming up a little bit more here before the cool down arrives. This is total precipitation in inches through the next 90 hours. Here you can see nothing too much across Pacific Northwest. Most of the action down there through California. Some of the coastal regions of Oregon, though, and the higher terrain getting some decent amounts. And this is just as that Thursday system starting to impact the Pacific Northwest. This is looking at snow, 10-to-1 ratio here through 140 hours. This would go out through next Saturday night here. So we could get some decent rounds of snowfall with this cold air aloft moving in towards the end of the week coming up here. So we'll watch that in a little bit more detail here in the next couple of days. This is looking at 500 millibar heights. This is yesterday afternoon's European, so it goes way out into the future. And now there goes that system into California. There comes our next system in the Pacific Northwest here, ridging out over the Gulf of Alaska, continues to allow some cold air to drop down. And we get this northwest flow continuing to go across the Pacific Northwest all the way towards the end of March into early April here. So we'll watch this as we go, but it does look like we're going to remain cooler than normal as we go on into early April here across the region. This is 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Look at that bullseye across the west. 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook favoring California there. 8 to 14 day temperature. This goes all the way up through April 2nd. Again with the bullseye across the west. And this is 8 to 14 day precipitation. California highlighted there. This is something of concern. This is December 19th through March 18th precipitation departure from average. And you can see we are abnormally dry here across a lot of the Cascades in western Washington, Oregon, and drought conditions could be developing here across some of the Cascades. That is not good. It's not what we want to see with fire season coming up here in a few months. So just something to keep in the back of your head. We are abnormally dry, especially across the Cascades of Washington and Oregon, and you can kind of see the big amounts of precipitation that be getting across California as they are well above average versus ours, and you guys know what happens when we start to get fires in the Cascades. You get those offshore winds and you can really disrupt much of western Washington, Portland, southwest BC with some of that smoke. So cross your fingers that we get some springtime precipitation to really help. Building the snowpack would really help too. So this weekend storm is going to be beneficial here for the Pacific Northwest. So anyway, cross your fingers on that. Yeah, so enjoy Tuesday, Wednesday before we start to cool down towards the end of the week coming up here. Hope you guys can get out and enjoy that nice weather. And yeah, if you guys want to watch my next video here, this storm is wrapping up to be a doozy here for Central and Southern California. I'll be doing that video here in the next few minutes. But anyway, I'll leave the link below if you guys want a weather station. I'm really impressed with that weather flow by Tempest here, and I will put the video on the bottom left corner here as the video ends. And yeah, otherwise we'll do this again tomorrow. We'll watch that system coming across. We'll try to pinpoint some of our thunderstorm chances as we go. Hopefully we can build up that mountain snow. And yeah, so hope you guys are having a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.